Welcome back, D Lyman crew. In this episode, we'll spill the tea on everything from surviving a pepper eating contest with your auntie to mastering the art of swaying your hips to the rhythm of life. Discover the three essential Caribbean life lessons that will have you embracing each day with a smile, celebrating victories like it's a carnival, and turning every mishap into a beach party under the moonlight. So let's
Let's
get it.
get it.
Saka Fed. Welcome to Unfiltered Limin Podcast. Join us as we reflect on our personal journeys and share our insights, experiences, and stories. From food to music, language to customs, we explore what it means to straddle two cultures and find a sense of belonging in both. Whether you're a first-time generation Caribbean American, a seasoned veteran, or simply curious about the rich tapestries of cultures that make up the Caribbean diaspora, this podcast is for you. We are your hosts, Lisa, the Dominica Diva.
Bertide, the Haitian sensation.
No one's talking, so let's get unfiltered.
Greetings, amazing vibes, and welcome to the spectacular season 6 of Unfiltered Limin Podcast. We have been on a little bit of hiatus. We're trying to get our groove with this video recording, so we're glad to be back with you all for season 6, where we take you on a journey through the extraordinary tapestry of life, Caribbean American flavor. And today we're tapping into the rhythm of life lessons.
What qualifies as a life lesson? I feel like that's loaded. Well, it could be something as simple as learning not to microwave leftover pizza still in the box. People.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Trust me on this one. Or it might be the time you discover that the phrase measure twice, cut once applies not only to carpentry, but also applies to those late night emails to your boss after a couple glasses of liquid courage.
Not encouraged. Not encouraged.
Not.
Delusional.
Not.
No, don't.
Very much.
Stop right
Please
there.
don't do that. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that?
No.
Well, maybe not to your boss, but maybe to someone else that you shouldn't.
Well, I don't drink like that. So for me, I've never been drunk to do that. I like to be in control. Have I lost my shit on people unintentionally? Yes. Soberly.
Soberly. Is that a word? That's a new word. Soberly.
Okay. Soberly is a word. Soberly, I don't know. I think I have, intentionally done that. So what is life lesson in the Caribbean? That's the question, right? It could be as simple as learning not to challenge your auntie to a pepper eating contest. Yeah, they like spicy food. I don't know. You know, unless you're ready for a fiery experience, go proceed with caution on that one. Or it may be realizing that the phrase one love applies not only to the Bob Marley lyrics, but also to surviving a crowded bus ride with a smile. In the Caribbean, the bus rides are a little bit different than the bus ride in America. They trying to fit as much as possible. Somebody could be sitting on your lap, you could be sitting on somebody's lap, somebody could be on the floor. Like, y'all got too much space in America in these buses. Like, I don't know what y'all trying to do, but it's empty seats. Why we got empty seats? Why the floor naked? Like, that in the Caribbean, I don't know what y'all do. There's people on top of the bus. We trying to go to a destination. See, in America, y'all really nice with these buses. It needs to be,
and not even the buses. Not even the buses. I remember when I was a kid and visiting Dominica, and it's like you jumped in the back seat of a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
And you just stood on the corner and you hailed it and you just jumped in the back, and then you just riding, and whenever you want to get off, you just tap the back of the truck. You just tap the back. Yeah. The truck comes to a halt and you just jump out.
And you better
and
jump
you
out
did
quick.
This as children. You better
jump out quick, because look,
better.
one tap, they're not even gonna stop. They're gonna slow it down. You better
Slow.
get ready to jump. And then by the time they almost they out. So you better grab everything and let's go.
Yep.
I remember that.
I never forget one time, like, I remember one of the first experiences I had with that in Dominica, and then coming back to the Bronx, and somebody came to our parents' house that actually had a pickup truck, and it was like all the kids like, yo, they were leaving, and we were like, we're gonna jump in the back, and we like jumped in the back, and like they didn't realize it, and we got like only 2 houses down, and they were like, yo, you in America, you can't do that, you gotta get out, like. And we were
Oh,
so mad. We couldn't understand. Like, I don't understand. We just did that shit last week. What you mean we can't ride in
yeah,
the back of a pickup
yeah.
truck?
The
Oh my
safety
gosh, yo.
hazard of the American life and all this other stuff.
The
That.
safety hazard. Let me hold on. Safety hazard. You want to talk about safety hazard? When we're in Dominica on the back of this pickup truck, you are riding the cliff up the hill. So when
Yeah.
you look over the side of the truck, you look down a cliff and you see the ocean at least 100 feet down. Okay, or you seeing bush.
Yeah.
So you talking about safety? Actually, technically, in the Bronx, getting in a pickup truck, it was a whole lot safer than in Dominica.
Oh yeah.
That it was a
Yeah.
whole lot safer. Technically, in America, it's
Mm-hmm.
safer to be in a pickup truck than in the Caribbean. I'm just saying. That's just
True. You're right about that. You absolutely are right about that.
the problem is. I don't know why we can't ride the back of pickup trucks.
I mean, you
I'm still
can
salty
if you
about
if
that.
you have the land. In the South, they do mud racing with their trucks, pickup trucks. So if you are into getting mud in your hair, and you have a pickup truck, there are spots in the South that you're able to mudslide or whatever with your truck. There's monster. I mean, there's you could definitely do those kind of things.
I'm just talking about getting a ride. Ain't nobody talking about getting all muddy and shit. I'm just talking about getting a ride. What are we talking about here?
I'm
Anyway, we're
just
talking about
saying,
life lessons.
Yeah. So what now with life lessons, Lisa?
Well, when we talk about life lessons, we're not just referring to the serious head nodding moments. No, my friends, we're also talking about the fantastic mishaps too of life. The
Mm.
unexpected plot twist, those times in our life where it throws us curveballs and you catch it with a grin on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about a time that you had some serious curveballs that was really life lessons for you? I feel like we have so many life lessons.
We do. I feel like there are so many. It's like, what do you pick, right? With life lessons, my people in the Caribbean, we've all heard of them, but in the Caribbean, it's not just a phrase, it's actually a journey, right? There's rhythm, there's laughter, there's a touch of that sweet sunshine. So for me, I feel like sometimes you don't realize that they're life lessons until you overcome them or you look on the other side and you're like, wait a minute, because sometimes when you're going through life lessons, you don't know that it's life lesson until you're going to another life lesson. Does that make sense? Because as children, you don't know that that's what you're going through. You don't know certain things like the way your parents. We were born into Caribbean household. That's a life lesson. I mean, and now you look back with laughter on it, where it's just like, out of all the household, God, you selected me. I love it. But I'm gonna tell y'all that by itself, Caribbean household being raised, it's a whole life lesson on its own, especially only because of being a first generation. If we were still in the island, I would think this was normal. America has fucked that for me. Another, because now I have another perspective of that's not normal. That's not the way that should be.
Well, let's give
Oh,
an example of what? An example of what?
it would be, oh, I can be, even though I'm a kid, I have a mind and opinion, and I should be allowed to express myself because I have feelings and emotions.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Where do they do that at? And what was the life lessons when you attempted that? It was called a whoop ass.
Exactly. So that would be one example of life lesson. Life lesson to know how to deal with relationships. You
Yeah,
guys
I'll tell
deal
you
with
life lessons with relationships. Yeah. You go on a date, make sure you keep your money in your pocket. Because the first date, you might not have no money. Keep your
Well,
money in your
that's
pocket
good.
for the cab.
You
Make sure
come
you
from
send the license plate number.
if you come from a strict Caribbean Haitian household, first of all, you ain't dating. The only person that you've dated is your husband. They don't believe in the dating thing. I don't know if that has changed now that we have become more Americanized. But in a Haitian culture household, who dating? The boys are dating. The girls, you are Mother Teresa until you bring that husband home. Ain't nobody else you dating. Ain't nobody else you
Or
ever
I
been.
heard, I heard too, if you do go on a date, if you have an older brother, they're going with you.
Oh, well,
Yep,
I
I
haven't
heard
heard
that
that
too.
one, but yeah, I
I
know
heard
that
that
they
one. They
are
going with you.
yeah. If you are a girl, if you are a boy, the boy are
Oh, you can
allowed
do
to
what you
be
want. You
straight
can do
up
what you
hoes
want.
out here in the streets, having babies, having whatever, and everybody welcoming them. But if you are the girl in the Caribbean life lesson, this another life lesson in the Caribbean culture. There's a different level of how they treat their boys versus how they treat their girls. It may be in the
Oh,
American too
yeah.
culture and African American, but there's a very on certain topics and certain subjects is different. So that's life lessons I would say that you go through when it's a little bit of sunshine that you gotta navigate through with the
Girl,
life lesson.
they need some examples. They need some examples of life lessons. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they
Shoot.
do. And again, with life lessons is anything because we have a definition for you of life lesson.
I have another one for you. You go out with your peoples. These are for the young ones. You go out with your friends, go in a pack. Don't ever go alone.
Yeah,
Don't get in
that's
cars with
true.
strangers unless it's an Uber because you're tracked.
So
Don't walk
this,
away from your drinks. Don't walk away from your drinks because somebody might slip a Mickey in there. We know what's going on around here today that's coming up from surfaces. People over here freaking spiking people's drinks from back in the 90s. So
yeah,
listen, that's an age old. Don't leave your drink unattended. You go to the
yes,
bathroom, take that bitch with you to the bathroom.
yes,
It's
or just get it. Buy
unsanitary.
yourself,
Or you
buy
can,
yourself a new drink. Buy yourself
yeah,
a new drink.
yep.
Life
I
lesson,
can keep
how
going.
you, yeah, life lesson on dreams and goals, life lessons on, you should have dreams and goals, the American dream, life lessons if you have children or if you first generation, how to navigate education, relationship, family, balance, all of that good stuff for life lessons. So Indeed has a very good definition of what a life lesson is, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. Indeed, definition of what is a life lesson. A life lesson is a situation or event in which you can learn new principles or useful knowledge related to life. For example, you may try to do something the easier way only to realize that the results are not what you were hoping for. If you would have taken the time and performed the task in the perceived harder way, your results would have been more satisfactory. In this situation, the life lesson would be that easier is not always better. Being open to life lessons can help you be more successful in both your professional and personal life and provide you with the tools needed to grow as a person.
It's so beautiful. So eloquently put. So eloquently put.
So that is
Girl,
what life lesson is. It's something that you've tried it one way, but there was a different way. You've learned from your parents of this way, and you try. It's just a whole life lesson. What is your definition of life lesson, Lisa? Because even though that's Indeed's definition, but what is your own definition of life lesson?
listen, my definition of life lessons. That little instinct that you have inside of you that you were born with, you better listen to it. You
Mm-hmm.
better listen to it. It will not steer you wrong. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the greatest and best best life lessons a person can learn at an early age, not at a late age, at an early age. Listen to that little birdie inside. Is there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, what
I'm
are
just
the
saying. So when
yeah?
you get that little instinct, when he only talk to you during the day and he don't answer his phone at night, and that little birdie inside tell you there's somebody else, there's somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely correct. You are there. Look, enough said. You know what it is. When your parents told you to be home at a certain time and you pass that time and the voice in your head says that you gonna get your behind spanked or cussed out, trust in that. They're not sleeping. Don't be delusional to think, oh, I could get away with it. Oh, let me find a way around it. Trust
When they come
that.
home and they think the lights are out and they think, oh, they sleep. So I'm good. It's past curfew. They sleep. Then I'm gonna tiptoe in the house. Nah, they sitting in the chair in the dark, right
Yep.
there to the right. So when you sneak in, they gonna clobber you right over the head because you came in too late and you passed curfew. You should have listened. You should have went home when you supposed to.
Yes. Life lesson could also be you are in a new country and you're trying to get assimilated. You also have, as a first generation, the how would I say? Unfortunately, I'm going to say it's a burden that you carry because, again, your parents are Caribbean or whatever culture that they're from. So, in your household, you're never going to be able to change how they discipline you, how they view the world until they themselves learn from the culture that they're in. But you being in school and being assimilated with kids and growing up, there's certain things that you're gonna learn differently than your parents are because your parents are coming already with their mind program. They already have these things in them. So your life lesson is gonna be how do you balance and navigate those two cultures? And guess what? That's what we're here for. For this reason, this podcast was created to help you with this wonderful life journey and lesson of navigating between two cultures. So, come in every Thursday, grab a drink, and we're gonna help you, navigate these life lessons of being first generation and having to deal with relationship, American friends, sleepovers, not talking back to your parents
No
with an
sleepovers.
attitude. Yes, not talking back to your parents, not going to parties. Just there's a whole bunch of different things. We just life lessoning over here. How to get the best out of life for you that your parents can help you with. Because at the end of the day, that's another life lesson too. Is learning how to. I would say learning how to learn easier and faster the lesson so you're not spending so many years retracting, right? Because the thing about it is what's good about our conversations, if you take it to heart and the tips and the tools that we're giving you, is the fact that you don't have to spend the your 20s 30s, you know what I'm saying, having to figure out certain things that we did because we had to like go through these hard walls and learning because we didn't have the resources, we didn't have different things. So that's a life lesson is to learn, like they said, learn to do the work so that way you can learn the lesson and you'll be able to learn it faster so you get to the other side. Because bumping your head over and over, and I'm telling you, like, you gonna come back to this podcast and tell us, oh yeah, you were right, I tried it this way, and you were trying to take a shortcut, and guess what? You had to come right back because it was a dead end. There was nowhere to go except up a cliff, and you had to come right back. So, just.
And another thing also too, part of learning fast also too, when you have your friends around you or other people around you, pay attention to what they're going through and
Mm-hmm.
pay attention to any downfalls or mishaps that they have that you can realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't try that route. also too. That's another thing that I think a lot of people don't do. They don't pay attention to what's going around them with the people that are closest to them, so that they can learn the lessons also too. And you'll be able to save yourself a lot of time by that too. I definitely, that's a huge life lesson to me. I used to always listen to the older girls in the streets. I'd be like, I
You
ain't
have
doing that
to.
shit.
All your
I'm like, I
elders,
ain't doing that.
right. I agree with you because
Hmm.
it saves you time, it saves you sometimes your life, your health, like just different things.
Hmm.
Sometimes I think we put ourselves through for no apparent reason because we just want to hit our head. And if you're a person that's the way that you want to go, fine. It's just going to take you a long time, but another life lesson is even if you have failures, learn from that. And
Yes,
everything
that's
that
huge.
happens and everything that happens in your life is a lesson. Whether you were in control of it, whether you were not in control of it, because we don't control how our parents raise us until we become adults, correct? Until we become able to take care of ourselves. So, whether you were in control of that lesson or not, that life brought to you, learn from it because there's something. And I think a lot of times in life with people, they try to navigate life, but they never go back to sit down to learn the lesson. So you're gonna keep repeating it. That's a life lesson. And if you don't learn it, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back in your life until you either learn it, until you're able to get to the other side. Whatever it is, learn from it. Ask yourself, what's the lesson in this? So that way it could improve your life. You could serve
Quality of
somebody
life,
with
yeah.
that. So
Hmm.
that's definitely, I would say, definitely a lot of everything in life is a lesson. Whether you think
Hmm.
it's good, bad, indifference, only you make it what you choose it to be. Nobody can
Hmm.
tell you what that lesson is. Nobody can tell you that that lesson is not a lesson. Don't listen to people if they trying to diminish what your lesson is. You don't compare your lesson to nobody else. Your
No,
life
you can't.
is your
Mm-mm.
life.
And your
Um,
failures too. That's nah.
mhm. Yeah.
Your failures are your failures, and they're there for a reason, for you to learn
Mhm.
from them. So don't
Mhm.
ever be so, that's another thing too. I think people, when they have failures, they let it consume them so much, like the world is ending. The
Mhm.
world is ending for them, and that isn't so farther from the truth. If you
Mhm.
had a failure and something didn't work out, number one, it probably wasn't meant for you, number one. And
Mhm.
number two, just like you said, there's a lesson in it.
Mhm.
Pick your
Or you.
boots up. What did you learn? How can you do it differently?
Mhm.
Don't, I think I see people like, if they have a failure, like they completely, they lose it. They're in a corner in a fetal position. They
Mhm.
just cannot get themselves together. But it's like, failure sometimes is the greatest thing. Like, listen,
Right.
all right, that didn't work. Let's try something else.
Right. And
As
sometimes
long
you.
as you got the able and willing body to wake up
Mhm.
another day, get back out there and just try something else. Just like a little kid,
Right.
when he a little, what they have that saying about a little baby when they're learning to walk, when they
Right.
fall down on the ground, they don't just lay there.
Right.
They don't
They
just
just
like, oh
yeah.
my god, I
Yeah.
fell. I mean, well some cry, some
Right.
some
Right.
cry,
Right.
but they get back up.
Mhm.
you, they fall off the bike, they get back on the bike.
Right.
You just, yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's all
And
great
sometimes you
life
have to
lessons.
remember, and some things you're just not ready for. You're not ready to learn. And it's
Mhm.
okay if you do something, it doesn't make sense. Sometimes it's just not the time for you to understand the lesson right now. Sometimes it doesn't
Mhm.
come right away. Sometimes it takes time for you to grow, to mature, for different perspective or experience to come into your life for you to understand it. Just like again, one of the biggest life lessons is the saying that it's like your parents tell you, oh, you're not going to understand until you get older, or you're not going to understand until you have your own kid, or you're not going to understand until you start working. You're not going to understand. And a lot of times we're like, whatever. And guess
You get
what?
tired of hearing that. I ain't gonna lie, you ain't getting tired, but they
You
telling the
do,
truth though.
But guess what? Now that you're an adult, has a lot of what I'm not saying everything, but it has a lot of what they're saying not come. Like, do you not, if you're a
It's
person
true.
where you are consciously present in your life and you are doing the work in your life, have you not realized, like, okay, I
Yeah.
get what they were like. I get,
Yeah.
keeping the water on for 2 hours, taking a shower 3 hours. That's bill. So now you're the one paying them bills, and you like everybody better 5 minutes in the shower,
Shower.
or
Yep. Yep.
or like Lisa was showing me earlier, don't wash your ass at all. I mean, I'm just saying, there's people out here that don't wash their ass.
I didn't say that shit.
No,
Somebody
I
else was
said that
saying
was
that, not
showing
me.
me. Yeah, you were
Oh,
showing me.
okay.
You were showing me a TikTok person that was, and that's the thing now. There's people out here. That's a
Yeah,
whole life
that's a
lesson.
thing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. They're saying there was this whole movement for, I don't know if it's still going on, but there was a movement for a little while. People are like, you don't need to take a bath every day.
So, that could be
Mm.
because of life lesson. You realize that them bills are expensive. I don't know. I'm just saying. Your parents used to be like, oh, you'll understand. Same thing, life lesson and having kids. I could tell you there are certain things that definitely I've learned, experienced, and I'm almost like, oh, you'll understand, and I do understand. So there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of, and you also take the lessons, and we should be able to do better than our parents did, right? Because they did the best that they can. So for the next generation, showing them how to be better with their life and the lessons that they're learning, like Lisa said, to not be in a fetal position when you have failure. And then when you do have
Mm-mm.
great moments as well, to serve others, to help others, because your lessons could also be for your growth, but also for somebody else. So be
Yeah.
open to what you're out here to show the world and live your best life. You only have one life. That's the thing.
Mm-mm.
These lives
That's the thing people forget.
you can't redo this life. Cloning has not been developed for us to be able to freeze and redo this. Reincarnation has not been to the, I mean, I'm sure if that was, we would, but guess what? You only got one,
Yep, you
right?
do. And those moments, just remember when those moments hand you coconut and lemons and the challenges, well, hey, make a refreshing drink.
Exactly. Now, there are three important life lessons in the Caribbean, but we're not going to spoil the fun for you. We'll just say it involves laughter, love, and a little bit of soca, hip hop, or kompa.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing in your living room when the spirit hits you. Embracing the laid back attitude, that's one thing. And celebrating every small victory like it's carnival. And mastering, again, the art of swaying your hips to the rhythm of life. Because we think that, that's very important. You got to go sometime with the rhythm. Right, El?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely you do. That's why life's a carnival, you know. You're gonna have your up and downs, and sometimes you just don't take those things that serious. Just don't take it
Mm-hmm.
that serious. It's okay. It's gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
And this too shall pass, right? So
Mm-hmm.
with those unexpected plot twists, it's okay. It's all
Yeah.
right. Just like I said, you take those coconut and lemons and make yourself a drink.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So get
Yeah.
ready for a great season. Get ready to laugh, get ready to learn, and let loose as we sail on another episode of Unfiltered Limin Podcast. Because in the end, life is a grand calypsonian where we're here to
Calypsonian.
dance. Calypsonian, where we're here to dance
Mm-hmm.
its rhythm.
Yes. So grab your favorite tropical drink, find your favorite spot, and let the lessons unfold in ways you never imagined. Signing off for now. So stay irie, stay focused, stay fabulous. And remember, life's a carnival. Let's enjoy the parade.
Woo, woo, woo.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Unfiltered Limin Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insight. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you can catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh, exciting content. And if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss or a story you'd like to share, please reach out to us via our website. Join us again next Thursday for another unfiltered conversation about the rich diversity and complexity of the Caribbean American experience. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating the unique cultural heritage that makes us who we are. Unfiltered Limin is edited and produced by Unfiltered Limin.